Hey, it's producer Mike. We're interrupting your morning for a special announcement. What is it, Coach?
Fit Flash with Coach Kinsley.
So, Coach, this question comes from my cousin in Oklahoma, one of our regular listeners, a Mr. B. Ham, who once again has a resistance training question, but this one is more on the injury side. He said at one point during a lift that his elbow became really sore and that he thinks he's got the tennis elbow now. And really, his question was, how can I treat it? But really, how can I work through it without resting it? Because I don't want to quit my working out during the week. He wants to know, is that even a thing? To keep working out and have it get better somehow.
Oh man, I'm sorry that happened to you, Beham. So I do want to start by just saying how diagnosing is out of my scope of practice, but I can definitely tell you about tennis elbow. So tennis elbow is lateral epicondylitis, which is practically inflammation of the tendons in your elbow. And this can be caused from usually repetitive motions. So it's not just tennis, it's not just golf, it's not just pickleball, just repetitive motions. So plumbers can get this. If you use your mouse on the computer a lot, you can get this. And it's going to be repetitive use of the wrist and the arm. Now, because you said that you kind of know like when it happened, I think it might not be, because this is usually a gradual onset of pain where it's going to be kind of like radiating down the arm. There'll be like swelling, tenderness, and definitely like grip strength is going to suffer here. And unfortunately, if it is tennis elbow, the first thing that a doctor would tell you is to rest it. We're not really running away from that one.
Okay, Mr. B. Ham. This sounds like a sitting out situation, resting it for at least a couple of weeks. I know this happened to me when I was training with trainer Nick last spring, and I took off a couple of weeks. It was still sore when I lifted, but it wasn't sore to the point where I couldn't finish the lift. If that was the case, then it was because I was maxing out. It wasn't because of the pain in the elbow. So it was good to rest it. And sort of a silver lining for me was that it didn't let me sort of cheat on any of my shoulder exercises where I would maybe kick in the elbow a little bit to finish a chest fly or lateral raises. I had to completely take my elbow out of the equation and rely entirely on my shoulder, which is what you're supposed to do anyway, right, coach? That did help me there. It kept me honest. And I think sort of by keeping it focused like that, it eventually healed up and I'm able to use it now full strength. So B. Ham is not that much younger than I am in crabby old man terms. So he should probably take my example and take a step back for a couple of weeks. One thing I did learn from trainer Nick was to take a lacrosse ball and lean my elbows up against a wall and then use that hard rubber lacrosse ball and roller it back and forth over the area where it was sore to sort of stretch out that muscle and the pressure of it on that one spot actually loosened it up quite a bit so that I could get my workout in after I rested it, mind you. So, coach, any other suggestions for B Ham and his temporarily sidelined elbow?
Besides resting it, you can ice it and use like non-steroidal anti-inflammatories.
You mean something like Icy Hot or Bengay?
Yeah, this could be a cream or it could be like a pill, but this should be along with rest. It's not so that you can keep using it at the intensity that you're using it.
So that's not a cheat. That is a way to heal it and not get around resting it.
Right, exactly. If it persists, I would suggest seeing a doctor that could give you a clinical exam to diagnose it.
And that's some more good advice from Coach Kinsley.
Fit Flash.
A production of Greyhawk Enterprise, LLC.